Grace and peace, grace and peace. This is Bishop Wilson. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Glad that you're with us. We're going to give some people time to get on. If you would, please like, please share. We're going to be talking about a topic today coming out of new writing that I've been working on. It's not necessarily a book. It's more of a manual for men. It's entitled The Calm Man Code. The Calm Man Code. So if you would, we're going to be on just for the next few minutes. We're going to be teaching just a little bit on this topic. This book will be available real soon on Amazon. Plus, there's also going to be a women's version, the Calm Woman Code. But I'm teaching today from the Calm Men Code. So what I want to talk about today, the subject that I'm going to deal with here just for a few minutes, is do you really know your man? Why he is the way he is and what you're really seeing. So I want you to get prepared. I want you to listen to this today. I think you're going to get something out of it. It's going to be really good. Going to help you to understand how we think just a little bit more. All right. So it's sounding real good on Facebook. Those of you that joining me on Facebook, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining on Facebook. So we're going to jump into this today. And we're talking about, do you really know your man? And when I say know your man, I'm not talking about somebody that you're just fooling around with. I'm talking about someone that is in a genuine relationship, someone that's married, someone that you really care about, someone that you're invested in. I'm not talking about somebody else's man. I'm not talking about a nacho. I'm talking about someone that you are in a relationship with. So let's get into this. Do you really know your man? Why is he the way he is and what you're actually seeing? That's so important for us to identify what we're actually seeing. So the first thing I want to share with us is that most people are actually asking the wrong question. When people talk about men in relationships, they usually ask the question, why doesn't he communicate? Why does he shut down? Why does he get quiet? And those questions assume something is wrong with him. But a better question, a much, much better question that we should be asking when you're dealing with men is, what has this man been trained to survive? What has he been trained to survive? Because most men, if we can really get to the heart of it, most men aren't broken. They've been conditioned. So instead of asking, why don't they communicate? And why does he shut down? And why does he get so quiet? A better question that we should be asking is, what has this particular man that I'm dealing with, what has he been trained to survive? And that's real important that you understand that there is a conditioning that takes place, a conditioning. And if you misunderstand the conditioning, you will unknowingly end up misinterpreting the signals that the man's giving you. So, and I could get in trouble. Those of you that listen, I could actually get in trouble because I'm giving away the man code. So understand, the male is not broken. He's been conditioned. He's been conditioned by something. Grace and peace. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us today. So most men were never taught how to process emotions, but they were taught how to endure pressure. And those are two very different things. Women are taught mostly how to process their emotions, but men are learned how to endure, not even process, but endure pressure. So when emotions start rising, he doesn't talk, he contains it. He He doesn't explain. He's going to withdraw. He doesn't emote, which means that he doesn't go into this dramatic display of emotions, but he gets quiet. He goes quiet, not because he doesn't care. Now, if you're in a relationship with a man that gets quiet, it's not because he doesn't care. It's because silence has kept him safe for so long that he reverts back to the thing that has kept him safe. So you've got to understand, when a man gets quiet, that's been his safety net for so long that he reverts back to it. So what looks like emotional distance is often emotional overload. He's overloaded. So he retreats back into that. Thank you so much for joining back into that safety zone of getting quiet. So men don't shut down. What they do is they shift into survival. They shift into survival mode. So when a man feels overwhelmed, he feels criticized, he feels emotional flooded, too many emotional things going on at one time, when he feels like a failure, the man, and I'm not talking Bible today. When a man feels those things, his nervous system doesn't move toward connecting in that moment. He's not trying to connect with you in that moment. He's moving toward trying to find control. So usually that looks like retreat. It looks like he's retreating. And see, that's why you see the man gets to where he's giving short answers, at flat tone, withdrawn, he distracted, he distracts himself with work or tasks. And this isn't that he's being indifferent. That's a form of self-preservation for him, and he doesn't even know it. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys that are joining. Thank you so much that are joining. So behavior is the output, not the source. The behavior that you're seeing is an output, it's not the source. Most people respond to what a man does without ever understanding what he carries. So before the behavior comes, pressure, fatigue, fear of failure, fear of disappointment, fear of not being enough. Now, they're not going to say, man's not going to speak these fears. Ladies, you're not going to hear him say these things, not because he doesn't feel them, but because we've been taught not to need space for them. We don't leave space for pressure. We don't leave a space to say we're really fatigued and tired. Now, we'll say tired, but fatigued is a whole nother thing. Tired is body. Fatigue can be mental, spiritual. It can be everything that deals with it. We're not going to say we have a fear of failure. Some things we won't do just because we fear that we might fail at it. So you've got to be able to understand that men haven't been taught to even give space to those things. So here's some insight. I want to give you some insight. He's not opposing you. He's protecting himself. He goes into protection mode, that survival mode. And here's the shift that changes everything. Many men learn this so early in life. They learn it in life. What do they learn? That if you've got a strong father figure in your life, emotions brings punishment. Vulnerability brings shame, and asking for support, you get judged for it. This is what men have been taught, have been conditioned into. So what happened is they adapt. They adapt to make sure that I don't show my emotions because I don't want the punishment. I'm not going to be vulnerable because I don't want to be embarrassed. I'm not going to ask for support because I'm going to be judged. So they adapt. They become quiet instead of expressive. They become strong instead of open. They become contained instead of connected. You're wanting the connection. Well, you got to really understand the language. But now, in relationships, it looks like distance. What they've learned, what they've been conditioned to be non-expressive, strong but not open, contained but not connected. When you take that, when you see a single man, that looks great on him. But in relationship, it looks like distance. not because he doesn't want connection. I'm talking about real men. I'm not talking about these. I'm not talking about these youngins. I'm talking about real men. Calm. I'm teaching just a little bit out of my book. You'll be able to get this soon on Amazon. I encourage the men and the women to get this book, The Calm Man Code. The Calm Man Code. Calm is the language that most men understand. Men respond to emotional steadiness, a predictable tone, safety without interrogation. I'm bad about that. I really have to catch myself, because when my wife asks questions, many times I feel like I'm being interrogated. If it's more than two questions, I feel like I'm in interrogation, and it's really something in me. So when emotions begin to escalate, a man's nervous system, y'all hear me, please hear me. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not talking Bible. I'm talking more physiology and psychology than anything. When a man's emotions begin to escalate, the nervous system closes. His access to words decreases. The ability to explain totally collapses. So asking him in that moment, hear me, ladies and gentlemen, asking him in that moment to just talk to me. Just talk to me. Why can't you talk to me? To ask him that while pressure is rising is like asking someone to swim harder while they're in the midst of drowning. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And see, this is where most conversations stop, but the work has to begin. Now here's where I want to be clear. What I'm sharing today is awareness. Not trying to give you any kind of solution. I'm giving you awareness and understanding why men behave the way they do for you as a woman and for you as the man that may be dealing with it. That is powerful. But awareness alone, it doesn't change behavior. It doesn't reroute that behavior. That's why I wrote this book, The Calm Man Code. Not as a relationship advice, not to blame or shoot pop shots at the women, because as you hear, as everything that I've said so far, I'm not blaming the women for anything. But this has been written as a framework to help men to understand, to help women to understand the internal pressure, the emotional response, and how to stay present. For a man to be able to stay present instead of learning to shut down every time, because calm isn't a personality trait. Oh, he's so calm. No, that's not a personality trait. That is a trained discipline that has to be learned. And I want to just unpack just a little bit of this framework today. But if you ever wonder, why does he disappear emotionally under pressure? This book, The Calm Man Code, it will answer those questions for you. You need to get it. You need to get it. Just get the book. It's going to be out soon on Amazon. So listen, let me close with this. The question that I want to leave you with today is, why won't he open up? Answer. What does this man need to feel regulated enough to stay present? That's what you got to find out. What does he need to feel regulated enough that he can stay present? Presence follows calm, not the other way around. You want him to be present, things have to be calm. Gotta be calm. You gotta find a way to make sure that things are calm. My final statement today: most men do not need fixing. They don't need fixing. They need to be understood without being attacked. And most women don't need to lower standards. Hear me, ladies. No, don't need to lower your standards, but you do need insight instead of assumptions. He just said, yeah. No. You need insight. You need to get this book. You need insight so that you're not dealing with a bunch of assumptions. And I got a women's version that's coming out also. So when you understand why a man is the way he is, you stop fighting his behavior and you start seeing the human behind the behavior. You start seeing it. So listen, I need you to keep an eye out for the Calm Man Code. It's going to teach you as a man how to find that calm, how to not shut down, how to be able to stay present. It's going to teach you as a wife or as a girlfriend how to talk to this man, how to talk to your sons so that you don't cause them to shut down. They can remain open and you can have meaningful conversation. There's going to be tools in this book. There's a 90-day plan, if I'm not mistaken. I think I put that at the end, or that may be in the workshop. There is a workshop that's coming out with this. So we're excited about this. So I need you guys to be looking for the Calm Man Code. Got my head in the way. Emotional framework for discipline and relationship leadership for Black men. So keep an eye out for this. I believe it's going to be really good. It's going to speak to your heart. It's going to help you. It's always something that is needed when it comes to the Black family for us to do better. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining me. Please like, share. Please like my page. I will be sharing more from this book, maybe on tomorrow. I might jump on here tomorrow and share some out of the women's book. I may share some out of the women's book. Women's book is not in publication yet. This one, I actually sent it to be reviewed today. So Amazon is reviewing it today. It may even be available on tomorrow. So keep an eye out. Please like my page so you can get the notifications when it comes. Remember, God's the greatest power, and you are absolutely, positively not defeated. God bless.